When you stop speaking, the universe starts listening. Welcome to Live Stoic, Live Strong. What if the secret to commanding a room isn't in what you say, but in what you don't say? Imagine standing in a storm of voices, opinions, and chaos, yet choosing to stay silent, unshaken, powerful. Could a single pause unlock the clarity you've been chasing your whole life? Welcome to a journey where silence isn't weakness. It's your greatest weapon. In today's world, noise is everywhere. Voices clamor for your attention, notifications buzz, opinions collide. It's a whirlwind that pulls you in every direction. But picture this. Amidst the chaos, you choose to step back. You choose silence, not as surrender, but as strategy. What happens next? That's what we're diving into today. Silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a canvas for clarity, a space where wisdom takes root. It's the moment you stop reacting to the world's demands and start reflecting. Imagine a crowded room, everyone shouting to be heard. Now imagine yourself, calm, centered, listening. Your silence speaks louder than their words. It draws eyes, commands respect. Why? Because silence is intentional. It's choosing when to speak, when to observe, when to let your presence do the talking. Have you ever noticed how the quietest person in the room often holds the most power? That's no accident. Silence lets you see what others miss. It sharpens your understanding of yourself, of others, of the world spinning around you. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed, swept away by life's noise. Maybe it was a heated argument, a looming deadline, or the pressure to keep up. What if, instead of rushing to respond, you paused? Just for a moment. In that stillness, clarity emerges. Wisdom whispers. You realize you don't need to shout to be heard. Your actions, your choices, your quiet confidence, they roar louder than words ever could. This is the secret. Machiavelli, a master of strategy and influence, understood deeply. His name echoes with power, but his true strength lay in what he left unsaid. Machiavelli didn't waste words. He didn't need to. He knew the most impactful leaders aren't the loudest. They're the ones who choose their moments with precision, who wield silence like a blade. When was the last time you held your tongue instead of reacting? What could you have discovered if you'd let silence guide you before making that choice, speaking that word, or taking that step? Machiavelli's wisdom teaches us that restraint is power. In a world that screams for your reaction, pausing is rebellion. It's strength. It's the key to unlocking your potential. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of silence, not as emptiness, but as a force. Your quiet ally on the road to success. So take a deep breath. Let the noise fade. Picture yourself standing tall, unshaken, in a world that never stops talking. This is where your true strength begins to grow. Let's start with Chapter 1, Machiavelli's Silent Strength. You've probably heard of Niccolo Machiavelli, his name painted with bold strokes of cunning and power. But beneath the legend lies a quieter truth, one that pulses with lessons for your life. Machiavelli didn't chase noise. In a world that demanded quick reactions, he mastered the art of restraint. His strength wasn't in loud declarations. It was in deliberate pauses, in choosing the perfect moment to act. Picture him, quill in hand, surrounded by the chaos of Renaissance politics. While others scrambled to speak, he observed. He listened. He waited. And in that waiting, he found power. Now think about your own life. How often do you feel the urge to fill the silence, to speak up, act fast, or prove yourself? The world pushes you to move, to chase success with relentless energy. But what if the secret to your greatest wins lies in doing less? Machiavelli's writings hint at this. The most effective leaders don't just act. They pause. They weigh their options. They let silence carve out space for strategy. Imagine applying that to your daily grind. Instead of jumping into every debate, you listen. Instead of rushing decisions, you reflect. That's where your power lies. Not in the noise, but in the quiet moments you choose to embrace. As we move to next, we'll dive deeper into how you can harness this silent strength in practical ways, transforming your life one pause at a time. We've uncovered the hidden strength in silence, how a single pause can command more power than 1,000 words. Now let's explore how this quiet discipline shapes the world's greatest leaders, and how you can wield it in your own life. Picture a battlefield, not of swords, but of voices. Everyone clamoring, promising, reacting. Amid the chaos stands the silent leader. They don't rush to speak. They don't make empty vows. They observe, they listen, and when the moment is right, they act with unshakable purpose. That's the kind of person who doesn't just navigate the world, they shape it. Have you ever paused to consider your own approach to life's challenges? When was the last time you chose silence? Not as retreat, but as a deliberate, powerful tool. In those rare moments when you step back, take a breath, and let the noise fade, something magical happens. Clarity sharpens. You begin to see what truly matters, why it matters, and how to move forward with intention. Niccolò Machiavelli, a master of strategy, thrived in a world of danger and uncertainty. He knew chaos could swallow you whole if you let it. But in silence, he found his footing. Picture him, surrounded by the clamor of political schemes, yet calm, calculating. His silence wasn't passivity, it was a shield, a space to plan, to think, to act with precision. What if you could bring that same discipline to your life? Imagine facing a tough decision, a heated argument, a career crossroads, or a personal storm. The world pushes you to react, to fill the silence, to move fast. But what if you paused instead, just for a moment? In that stillness, you'd find the power to choose wisely, to act with impact. Machiavelli's silent strength isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about sharpening your focus, like a blade honed in quiet. It's about acting from a place of deep understanding, where every move carries weight. This kind of strength doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need applause. It's simply tightness. And when you step into it, your influence grows, your leadership deepens, and your ability to spark real change becomes unstoppable. Think about it. When has shouting ever won hearts? Machiavelli's genius reminds us that the quietest moments carry the most power. A single, thoughtful pause can reveal the bigger picture, guide your decisions with wisdom, and build strength from within, not from the fleeting validation of noise. So how can you embrace this silent strength in your own life? What would it feel like to give yourself permission to think, to reflect, to act with purpose, free from the pressure to react? In the race to success, it's not always about speed or volume. Sometimes, the greatest victories are born in the quietest decisions, choices rooted in silence that ripple outward, changing everything. As you walk this path, carry this truth. Silence is not weakness. It's power, waiting to be unleashed. It's the calm before the storm, the steady hand in chaos. Embrace it, and you'll start crafting a life shaped by wisdom, intention, and a quiet strength that others can't help but notice. As we turn to the next chapter, we'll dive into Chapter 2, The Art of Listening, Your Secret Weapon. Get ready to discover how truly hearing the world around you can transform your journey in ways you never imagined. We've discovered how listening, the quiet art of truly hearing, can transform your influence and decisions. Now let's dive deeper into why this simple act is your greatest strength and how it unlocks a world of connection and clarity. Imagine you're in a conversation, words swirling around you like a restless wind. Your mind drifts, already crafting your next reply. In that moment, you might miss something vital, a truth, an emotion, a spark that could change everything. Listening, real listening, is your secret weapon. It costs nothing, demands no special skill, yet holds the power to shift your life in ways you never imagined. True listening isn't just catching words, it's hearing the heartbeat behind them. It's feeling the unspoken struggles, the hidden desires, the nuances woven into every pause. When you listen deeply, you're not just collecting information, you're forging a connection. Picture yourself sitting across from someone, their eyes searching for understanding. By truly hearing them, you create a bridge to their heart. You're not just processing their story, you're feeling its weight, its hope, its truth. In a world that demands your opinion, your reaction, your voice, this silent act of presence is revolutionary. But let's pause and reflect. When was the last time you truly listened? Not half listening while planning your response, but fully present, setting aside your own agenda to simply be someone? Niccolo Machiavelli, the master strategist, knew this power, even if he didn't always name it. His genius wasn't just in his words, it was in his ability to understand others. And understanding begins with listening. To lead, to influence, you must first see the world through another's eyes. It's tempting to jump in, to assert yourself at the first hint of conflict or opportunity. But when you pause, when you listen with every fiber of your being, you gain insights no quick reaction could ever uncover. Think about your life right now. Every day, you face choices, career moves, relationships, personal growth. Uncertainty can cloud your path. What if the answers you seek are already there, waiting in the quiet? Listening ISN couches not just others, but yourself. Imagine silencing the noise, the endless to-do lists, the pressure to act fast, and tuning into your inner voice. That deeper part of you, the one that knows what's right, speaks softly. When you pause, when you let the clamor fade, your instincts rise. Have you ever felt that moment of clarity, like a fog lifting, when you finally hear your own truth? That's the power of listening inward. Now picture this in your relationships. When you truly hear the people around you, they feel seen, valued, understood. This simple act builds trust, deepens bonds, and earns respect without a single word. And here's the magic. When you listen, they listen back. Your influence grows, not from shouting, but from connecting. Combine this deep listening with Machiavelli's silent strength, and you become unstoppable. You move through the world with purpose. You respond, not react. You speak only when it matters. And when you do, your words land like stones in still water, rippling with impact. So I ask you, how often do you give yourself permission to listen, not just to others, but to the wisdom within you? In a world obsessed with speed and noise, This act feels small, but it's seismic. It's the spark that lights your path to meaningful change. As we move to the next chapter, we'll explore how to put this listening power into action, turning quiet moments into bold steps toward the life you've always dreamed of. We've seen how listening, that quiet act of presence, unlocks connection and clarity, transforming the way you move through the world. Now, let's explore how this silence evolves into your ultimate power move, a force that can reshape your life. The next time you're in a conversation, caught in the ebb and flow of words, remember this: listening isn't passive. It's a bold, deliberate choice. When you choose to truly hear, to understand, to learn, to connect, you step into a realm of influence that's unshakable. Picture yourself, eyes locked with someone, their words painting their truth. By listening deeply, you're not just hearing, you're building bridges, forging bonds, unlocking doors to opportunities you never saw coming. This simple art, this silent strength becomes your secret weapon. It's the key to stronger relationships, wiser decisions, and a success that feels authentic. In the quiet of listening, you hold more power than the loudest speech could ever muster. It's where you uncover the world around you and the world within you. That understanding, it changes everything. Now let's step into Chapter 3, Silence, the Ultimate Power Move. In a world that thrives on noise, endless chatter, shouts for attention, the hum of distraction, silence is often mistaken for weakness. But here's the truth: silence is not empty. It's not a void. It's a force, a strategic move that, when wielded with intention, can shift the course of your life in ways words alone could never touch. Think back to the moments when you've been most impactful. Were they when you were talking nonstop, filling the air with sound? Or were they the times you paused, stepped back, and let silence guide you? Imagine a tense meeting, voices clashing, everyone fighting to be heard. Now picture yourself, calm, centered, choosing silence. In that pause, you reflect, you observe, you see what others miss. This is the essence of Niccolo Machiavelli's wisdom, a master who knew silence could command more than the grandest speech. Silence creates space for clarity. It's the moment you step away from the chaos, like a ship finding still waters, and focus on what truly matters. Have you ever felt the urge to fill a quiet moment with words, just to ease the discomfort? What if, instead, you leaned into that silence? What if you trusted it to reveal more than any rushed response could? Silence isn't about hiding, it's about presence. It's being so grounded in yourself that you don't need to prove your worth with every syllable. When you're comfortable in silence, you become the calm in the storm. You don't need to shout over the world's noise or jump into every fight. You observe, you reflect, and when you act, it's with purpose. Think about those times you felt pressured to speak, to defend, to argue, to make your point. Now imagine choosing silence instead. What did you see? I'd bet in those quiet moments, the bigger picture came into focus, revealing truths you'd have missed in the rush. Silence is your power move, because it's deliberate. It's the choice to be still, to trust your inner strength over the world's clamor. In that stillness, you access insight, clarity, and a deeper understanding of your path. So I ask you, when did you last let silence speak for you? How might your life shift if you embraced its power more often? As we turn to the next chapter, we'll uncover how to weave this silent strength into your daily life, turning quiet moments into bold, purposeful actions that shape the future you've always envisioned. Thank you for staying with Live Stoic, Live Strong. It means you're seeking more than words. We're here for that journey with you. We've uncovered how silence, far from being passive, is a commanding force that shapes your influence and decisions. Now, let's explore how this quiet strength becomes your ally, transforming every interaction with intention and grace. Picture a moment when the world tested you, a heated argument, a high-stakes decision, a wave of frustration crashing in. Yet, instead of reacting, you stayed calm, composed, silent. In that moment, silence wasn't your weakness, it was your superpower. Choosing silence isn't retreating, it's making a bold statement. It's rising above the chaos, like a lighthouse standing firm in a storm, and responding with purpose rather than impulse. This is where your true power shines, a calm, centered mind that doesn't need to shout to be understood. Silence opens the door to deep listening, letting you absorb the world in ways words could never capture. It's in those quiet moments that you uncover truths about others, about yourself, about the pulse of life itself. And when you finally speak, your words carry a weight that stops people in their tracks. They're deliberate, meaningful, forged in clarity. Imagine wielding this power in your relationships, whether personal or professional. The temptation to argue, to defend, to assert yourself can be strong. But what if you chose silence instead? What if you let the other person's words flow, truly listened, and gave the moment space to breathe? In that pause, you gain perspective. You see their heart, their fears, their hopes. You reflect on your own feelings before responding. And when you do speak, your words land with precision, born from understanding, not reaction. This quiet strength reshapes how you navigate life. It's the power to pause before acting, to think before reacting, to reflect before speaking. It's a strength that doesn't need to be loud. It stands firm, unshaken, like an oak rooted deep in the earth. So I ask you, what would it feel like to make silence your trusted ally, to embrace those quiet moments, knowing they're not empty, but brimming with insight, control, and wisdom? Silence isn't a void. It's a wellspring. It's where clarity is born, where strength takes root, where your inner power grows. When you harness it, you unlock a force that changes everything. Your relationships, your decisions, your path to success. As we step into Chapter 4, the discipline of silence, mastering your emotions, let's redefine what discipline means. Forget rigid rules or deprivation. True discipline is empowerment, and the discipline of silence is its purest form. It's not about staying quiet all the time. It's about mastering the art of when to speak and when to hold back. Picture those moments when emotions have swept you away, words you regret, reactions that didn't reflect your best self. Now imagine having the power to pause, to choose silence, to navigate those moments with intention. This discipline is about commanding your emotions, your impulses, your reactions, so you can move through the world with clarity and purpose. It's the strength to stay steady when the world pushes you to falter. Have you ever wished you could rewind a moment to respond differently? Silence gives you that chance, not by erasing the past, but by shaping your future. As we turn to the next chapter, we'll dive into how to cultivate this discipline in practical ways, turning silence into a tool that empowers every step of your journey. We've explored how the discipline of silence empowers you to master your emotions, turning quiet moments into acts of strength. Now let's dive deeper into how this practice transforms chaotic situations into opportunities for clarity and control. Picture a moment when your emotions surged, a stinging argument, a high-pressure decision, a wave of frustration threatening to pull you under. In that instant, it's easy to let feelings take the wheel, clouding your judgment, pushing you to act impulsively. But when you embrace the discipline of silence, you reclaim the driver's seat. You step back, take a breath, and create a sacred pause, a space where thoughtfulness and clarity can bloom. This is where silence becomes your greatest ally, a shield against the storm of emotional intensity. Imagine facing a heated confrontation, your heart racing, words itching to spill out. Your instinct screams to defend, to react, to decide on the spot. But what if you chose silence instead? In that pause, you gather yourself, like a warrior steadying their stance before battle. You assess the situation from a place of calm, not chaos. This isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about sitting with them. You feel the anger, the sadness, the frustration, but you don't let them dictate your next move. Instead, silence becomes your tool to regain composure, ensuring your actions align with your values and long-term goals. Mastering this discipline isn't easy. It takes patience, practice, and courage, especially in the heat of the moment. But the more you lean into silence, the more its power unfolds. You'll notice how your interactions shift when you choose pause over reaction. Picture a tense work meeting or a disagreement with someone close. By staying silent, you listen, you reflect, and when you speak, your words carry the weight of wisdom. This isn't weakness. It's strength, pure and unshakable. Have you ever felt the rush of regret after saying something in haste? Silence rewrites that story, giving you control over your responses, letting your emotions guide rather than govern. Through silence, you unlock a deeper layer of self-mastery. You stop being a passenger to your feelings and start using them as a compass. You learn to discern when your emotions are valid and when they're clouding your vision. Silence doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means approaching them with intention, like an artist carefully choosing their brushstrokes. Think about how this could reshape your life. What would it feel like to face every challenge with a calm, collected mind? To know that no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to pause, reflect, and respond from a place of strength? Imagine the clarity, the confidence, the quiet power radiating from every choice you make. The discipline of silence isn't just about what you hold back. It's about what you refuse to let control you. It's the choice to stand firm, to think clearly, to act with purpose. Every time you choose silence over impulse, you're building a life rooted in wisdom and grace. As we move to the next chapter, we'll explore how to make this discipline a daily habit, weaving silence into your routines to unlock a future defined by intention and impact. We've discovered how the discipline of silence empowers you to master your emotions, turning fleeting impulses into deliberate, powerful choices. Now let's explore how this quiet strength unlocks your true potential, guiding you toward a success that's deeply fulfilling. Your greatest power doesn't lie in shouting louder or filling every moment with words. It's in tuning into the silence within you, a space brimming with possibility. Picture silence not as a void, but as a canvas, where you paint your emotions, ground yourself in your values, and craft decisions that reflect the person you're becoming. In this stillness, you find the freedom to choose your path with clarity and purpose. So, I ask you, how will you wield silence to master your inner world? How will you step into its power, knowing it's not a retreat, but a bold act of resolve? The discipline of silence is your gateway to true freedom. The freedom to respond intentionally, to act with purpose, and to live from a wellspring of inner strength. It's a quiet rebellion against a world that demands constant noise, a path to a life shaped by wisdom and grace. As we step into Chapter 5, turning silence into success, let's unravel how this practice becomes the cornerstone of your achievements. You might wonder, how does silence lead to success? It's a question few pause to ask, yet it holds the key to unlocking a life of meaning. Success isn't about being the loudest voice in the room or forcing your ideas into every conversation. True success, the kind that sustains you, that feels like a warm fire in your soul, is built in the quiet moments. It's forged in the silence that lets you listen deeply, reflect clearly, and align your life with what truly matters. Imagine a moment when the world's noise overwhelmed you, pressure piling up at work, expectations pressing in, a flood of information drowning your thoughts. In that chaos, it's tempting to shout, to react, to make yourself heard. But what if you stepped back instead? What if you entered the silence, like slipping into a calm lake, letting the ripples of noise fade away? In that stillness, you hear your inner voice, the one that whispers your truth, guiding you toward choices that resonate with your core. Too often, we drown this voice with external demands or fleeting desires. But silence gives it room to rise, like a star breaking through a clouded sky. This is where the magic of success begins. Turning silence into success means harnessing this quiet power, not retreating from the world, but stepping into clarity to find the answers you need. It's about aligning your actions with your deepest values, not chasing hollow pursuits that leave you empty. When you make silence your ally, you stop running after what doesn't matter and start building a life that does. Think about it. Every great achievement begins with a quiet moment. Picture a visionary entrepreneur, a groundbreaking artist, or a transformative leader. Before their success took shape, they paused. They reflected. They connected with their inner wisdom. That silence wasn't wasted. It was the spark that lit their path. How could your own moments of silence ignite your journey? As we move to the next chapter, we'll uncover practical ways to weave silence into your daily life, turning these quiet pauses into stepping stones toward a success that's uniquely yours. We've seen how silence, when embraced, becomes the foundation of lasting success, guiding you to act with clarity and purpose. Now let's uncover how this quiet power transforms your daily decisions and paves the way for a life of deep fulfillment. Great leaders, artists, and visionaries didn't rush into action, driven by impatience or fear. They paused, embraced silence, and let it reveal the bigger picture, the true essence of their goals. You hold that same power. Imagine waking each morning with a calm certainty, knowing you've carved out moments of silence to anchor your day. Picture yourself moving through life with quiet confidence, your decisions rooted not in the world's frantic noise, but in a stillness that sharpens your focus. What would it feel like to silence the doubts, the distractions, and step forward with unwavering clarity? Success isn't a sprint, a mad dash to check off tasks or outshout the crowd. True success is the courage to slow down, to listen deeply, to align every step with your vision. It's like walking a path through a stormy forest, pausing to hear the whisper of your intuition over the howling wind. In those silent moments, you reflect on your journey, ensuring each choice serves the person you're becoming. When you turn silence into success, you tap into a power that noise can never match, the power of focus, of alignment, of intentionally crafting a life that resonates with your soul. Every second you spend in silence hones your ability to navigate life with purpose. Each pause strengthens your resolve, letting you choose actions that honor your higher self, not fleeting impulses. So I ask you, what could happen if you made silence your greatest tool? What if you gave yourself permission to breathe, to reflect, to prioritize what truly matters? Imagine a life where every decision feels grounded, every action purposeful, every moment infused with clarity. In silence, you don't just find success, You build it, brick by brick, rooted in the strength of your inner wisdom. This isn't about doing more. It's about being more connected, more intentional, more aligned with the deepest parts of you. Silence isn't passive. It's a force, a wellspring of confidence that transforms your career, your relationships, your inner journey. When you embrace it, every step you take radiates purpose. Every choice carries weight. This is the success that endures, not because it's loud, but because it's true. As we step into Chapter 6, The Silent Leader, Leading Without Words, we'll explore a new dimension of this power. Leadership isn't always about who speaks the loudest or commands the room with words. The most profound leaders often lead through presence alone. Their silence speaking volumes. Get ready to discover how you can embody this quiet strength, inspiring others not with noise, but with the undeniable force of your actions and integrity. We've uncovered how silent leadership, rooted in presence rather than noise, inspires trust and respect without a single word. Now, let's explore how you can embody this quiet strength, leading others through the power of your actions and authenticity. Some people command a room without seeking the spotlight. Their confidence radiates, their clarity resonates, and their presence speaks louder than any speech. This is the essence of silent leadership, a force so undeniable it inspires admiration without effort. You carry this potential within you. Every day, the way you move through challenges, the choices you make, the calm you bring to chaos, it's already speaking volumes. Each time you choose patience over a hasty reaction, empathy over judgment, or stillness amidst turmoil, you're leading. You're lighting a path for others, not with grand gestures or forceful words, but with the quiet power of your example. Picture a silent leader. They don't dominate or manipulate. Instead, they cultivate a space where trust blooms, where collaboration thrives, and where mutual respect becomes the foundation of success. You have this ability to lead with a steady hand, to inspire confidence without raising your voice. By embracing silence, you create an environment where others feel safe to grow, to contribute, to shine. This kind of leadership doesn't crave applause or validation. It's rooted in self-awareness, in knowing who you are, and standing firm in your values. Imagine someone you've known, a mentor, a friend, or even a stranger, whose quiet strength left you in awe. They didn't demand respect. They earned it, moving through the world like a calm river, steady and unshaken. That's the power of leading without words. And you can embody this in your own way. It's not about being the loudest or the most vocal. It's about acting with integrity, empathy, and authenticity, letting your presence draw others naturally toward you. So I ask you, how can you step into this role as a silent leader? How can you harness silence to amplify your inner wisdom, letting your actions speak louder than any speech? Leadership isn't about titles or podiums. You don't need to be a CEO or a public figure to make a difference. You lead in the small, powerful moments in your family, your friendships, your community. It's in how you handle conflict with grace, support others in their struggles, or carry yourself with quiet dignity. These are the marks of a true leader. Have you ever noticed how a single act of kindness or composure can ripple outward, inspiring others to follow? Your leadership lies in how you show up, in the way you make others feel seen, valued, and understood. Silence becomes your greatest tool, amplifying your emotional intelligence and grounding your actions and purpose. As you reflect on your journey, consider, what does leadership mean to you? How can you let your presence, not your voice, guide the way? The answers are already within you, waiting in the quiet. As we move to the next chapter, we'll explore how to integrate this silent leadership into every facet of your life, turning your quiet strength into a legacy that inspires and uplifts those around you. We've explored how silent leadership, rooted in authentic presence, inspires others without a single word. Now let's embrace this power within you, trusting that your quiet strength can move mountains. You already hold the ability to lead, not through loud declarations, but through the calm, unwavering force of your actions. Step into this power. Trust that your silence speaks louder than any shout. Imagine standing in a room, your presence like a steady flame, drawing others in without effort. Your patience, your choices, your quiet resolve, they send a message that echoes far beyond words. Lead with your being, and watch as people gravitate to the strength you carry in stillness. As we reach the conclusion of this journey through the power of silence, take a moment to let it all sink in. Silence isn't weakness. It's a transformative force, a sacred space where you reconnect with your deepest self. Picture it as a quiet well, where your strength rises, where your wisdom takes root, and where you lead, influence, and thrive without ever raising your voice. This power is already yours, waiting to be unleashed. Every time you choose silence over reaction, stillness over chaos, or presence over noise, you're tapping into a reservoir of potential within you. Your actions, your calm confidence, your quiet grace, they speak louder than any speech could. So, I invite you to act. Reflect on those moments when silence called to you, when you led not with words, but with the weight of your choices. What's one small step you can take today to weave silence more deeply into your life? Maybe it's listening mindfully in a conversation, holding your patience during a conflict, or carving out a daily moment to center yourself in stillness, like a tree rooting deeper into the earth. The next time life throws a challenge your way, pause and ask, how can silence guide me here? Trust its strength to steer you, to empower you, to reveal the depth of your leadership. Have you ever felt the pull of a quiet moment when the world seemed to hush and clarity emerged? That's the power of silence, ready to shape your decisions, your relationships, your future. Let it be your guide, your ally, your quiet revolution against a noisy world. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Spread the wisdom of silence, not just through words, but through the way you live, the way you lead, the way you inspire. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can continue this journey together, uncovering the quiet power that's already within you. You are stronger than you know, and your silence is your greatest strength. As we turn to the next chapter, we'll explore how to make silence a daily practice, transforming your life into a masterpiece of intention, impact, and quiet confidence. Thank you for your time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time. It may reach deeper. Share this with someone who needs a quiet moment. See you in the next video.